Hello everyone, Liz here at the Mix and Mold Homestead. Today I want to show you a few more seeds that you can start indoors in what is left of the month of February and going into the month of March. We also need to make sure that we focus on planting some flowers, not only to make our garden look beautiful, but to also attract pollinators. I want to do everything that I possibly can to attract those pollinators. That'll be through planting flowers. Now those flowers, some can be planted indoors to give them a head start and then planted outside in the garden when the weather permits. So that is what we're going to be focusing on today. So these are the 14 flower packets that my daughter and I selected for our garden. Some we are planting just for their beauty and some will be used in teas and home remedies, but all of them will be planted with the intention to attract more pollinators. I wanted a variety of flowers that I can serve to attract them. However, I needed to stop and think what type of pollinators we have in our area and what environment is more suitable for them. So that took me onto a wild goose chase, and I ended up at the University of Maryland Extension, where I found out that here in Maryland we have lots of different types of pollinators, including bees, different types of butterfly, moth, birds, beetles, wasps, and even bats, flies, and ants. Honestly, I never stopped to consider some of them as pollinators. So once I found out the type of pollinators that are common to my area, I ended up going to pollinator.com and I inserted my zip code. So if you're in the United States, you can just put in your zip code. And if you are in Canada, you can insert your 3-digit Canadian postal code. And so it will bring out information for your area. And then they had a particular PDF, and I found out things that I never knew. Like I found out that bees prefer like bright white, yellow, and blue colors or UV colors, while beetles prefer dull white or green colors. Bees prefer flowers that are shallow and have landing platforms or are tubular, while beetles like larger bowl-like flowers like a magnolia flower. Okay, and the same PDF basically indicates that we should be developing our landscape to provide pollinators with a habitat. So in addition to providing them with the flowers to attract them, we have to make sure that those flowers also provide food. And for the food, it has to be flowers that provide nectars. They are high in sugar and necessary amino acids, and pollen, which is high in protein to the pollinators. And for the shelters, we have to make sure that we have protection for them from severe weather and from predators, as well as sites for nesting and roosting. It indicates that we should create different types of canopy layers within the landscape by planting trees, shrubs, and different size perennial plants, and will be beneficial if we could build bee boxes to encourage solitary and non-aggressive bees to nest in our properties. We also have to supply our pollinators with water, so it states that a clean, reliable source of water is essential to the pollinators. Nature and human-made features such as running water, pools, ponds, and small containers of water provides drinking and bathing opportunities for pollinators, but we have to make sure that those sources of water have a shallow or sloping side so the pollinators can easily approach the water without drowning. All right, everyone, so that's going to be it for this short video. I hope this information encourages you to go ahead and start planting your seeds indoors, because some of those flowers take a long time to germinate and to be to the blooming stage where we're going to need them for our garden. All right, so until next time, may the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you is my prayer for you. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the week.